What's up, y'all? I don't have any guests today. Why? Because sometimes it's best for the king to ride alone. So, this is brother out of Connecticut, fellow DSA comrade, and all around really good dude. I've talked to him on Twitter quite a bit. Might even have him on the show eventually. Who knows? But he's running for state house. Like people who have been following me, reading my shit, watching my videos for years, maybe under the impression that I am completely opposed to electoral politics. And if this was 2019 and 2020, I would definitely be like, yeah, I am entirely opposed to electoral politics. Oh, good afternoon, Rowan Ash. You all are always so polite. I can't wait till I'm so big that my fan base becomes toxic. Anyways, so this is Abdullah Osmanu, and he is running for state house. Like, I'm not entirely opposed to electoral politics. I am opposed to AOC, Bernie type bullshit because that stuff that really doesn't lead us anywhere except further and further down the abyss. So stay out of the abyss. And if you're in Connecticut, vote for Abdullah Osmanu. Let's watch.
My name's Abdullah Osmanu. I'm, from Hamden, Connecticut, and I'm actually running for state representative in the 94th district. Currently, right now, I actually serve on the legislative council here in Hamden.
Definitely repping the DSA merch. Whole fucking lapels full of pins. He has a Black Panther pin too. I believe I have that exact same one.
I think what really
the Black Panthers actually had an interesting foray into electoral politics. They almost took over the entire city of Oakland, mainly because the port was strategic, and it still is. But very interesting strategy they had. I believe it's talked about in Black Against Empire.
Really gets me up and going is,
see, if I forget what's in Black Against Empire, that's a sign that I need to reread Black Against Empire. Hello, one of my favorite DSA International Committee comrades. Yes, I am one now, I see. I am a member of the Middle East and Africa subcommittee.
Is, the opportunity to really, have a broader impact. Because as I really see it, we live in two Connecticut's. Connecticut, where, like the
I hope he's not trying to channel John Edwards in his To America shit.
Rich, wealthy,
gods, I'm old.
Powerful are doing awfully fine, and a Connecticut that most of us live in, where you're struggling from paycheck to paycheck. One real mishap away from a lifetime of debt, where we're talking about healthcare.
So you compare this to that MAGA communist bullshit that I'm going to talk about later. They've decided they wanted to drop a new National Socialist Party. I'm going to talk about it later because it's damn good for fucking engagement. Even if you don't want to take these people seriously, like some people are like, oh, you shouldn't take them seriously. You shouldn't talk about them too much. You're giving them attention. I mean, yeah, these people do want attention. Like they're really not based in anything but vibes and aesthetics and feels. Just look at these people. But still, I want to keep naive and innocent young comrades. Like that's how a lot of people end up in the CPUSA. That's how a lot of people end up in the Socialist Party. That's how a lot of people end up in these no good fucking formations run by megalomaniacs like Jackson, Hinkle, and Haas. So if I can keep people away from stuff like that, I will.
Housing insecurity, food insecurity. So really being a strong, bold voice and advocate, for those things and issues is one of the things that I'm really looking to be. And I really mean it when I say strong and bold, because of course, like these are all things.
I would definitely join a communist party started by Comrade Abdullah.
Things that, I know that people think are really great ideas, but really being able to approach them with the tenacity and dedication that they deserve to be able to bring back some meaningful wins for working class people in the state. And I think that really does pair well with.
So you compare this to the MAGA communist shit. Like he's actually featuring people who are actually working class. Like the average working class person in the United States is not some big, brawny white dude that's out of a Soviet poster from 1932, okay? The average working class person in this country is queer, they're Black or brown, and they're, in many cases, older, actually. So if you're not focusing on that working class, then you're basically engaging in settler chauvinism. The working class in the United States has never, ever been predominantly white. White people in this country have been overrepresented in the petty bourgeoisie and the haute bourgeoisie. And those are the types of people, like all you have to do is look at the MAGA communist aesthetic. Those are the types of people that they're trying to appeal to. It shouldn't have been that difficult to make a video introducing them in their party and AI-generated garbage. And that's the thing, like you're promoting the overuse of AI. So How are you going to be for the American working class, but you are using a tool that has literally displaced and replaced thousands of workers?
But some of my lived experience
But on the other hand, these people are not ideologically consistent. So
that I also bring to the table, where I've not only have the youth, not only have like the professional experience, but also the lived experience of understanding what it's like to deal with some of these issues. Where I can think back to coming to the realization that the childhood respiratory issues that I had were the result of environmental racism from living like the first 6 years of my life in the Bronx to almost really going homeless. When I was 7 or 8, as I was pretty much like every day cognizant of the fact that my parents could.
So you compare this guy's background to the background of like people like Hinkle and Haas. Like Haas is a fucking scion of privileged Lebanese fascist immigrants, and Hinkle is literally from a very well-heeled family in California. So these are the people that are going to be leading the American Communist movement. Of course, that's only in their own head. People like Abdullah Osmanu are going to be leading the American Communist movement.
Could come home.
Why? Because they can actually relate to normal people. Like these people are always, oh, what if a normie? Like, look, bro, none of these people look trustworthy. None of these people look trustworthy. None of these people sound trustworthy. And if you're able to string two and two together, you know that like they're not saying anything worth hearing. It's all vibes. These people are basically want to be demagogues and want to be Mussolinis and want to be Francisco Francos. That's why they obsess so much about queer people. That's why they obsess so much about college students with blue hair, because they're engaging in the same type of signaling that Donald Trump is. These people want to appeal to Donald Trump's base of used car salesmen and fucking traveling pharmaceutical sales representatives. These people don't give a shit about the working class. Neither does Donald Trump. But they know that a substantial portion of the white working class is given to fascism. I'm not saying that the white working class is inherently fascist. No, because nobody is inherently anything. If people were inherently anything, Clarence Thomas would be a communist instead of the most evil black man to ever draw breath in this country and on this planet.
Home and tell us that the court case didn't go as it should have, or they wanted to, and home was no longer home. And so I think having that element of lived experience is really important, because I'll be going up there and understanding the consequences and stakes of what I'm fighting for. I would say that my outlook and goal and mission really is to get the job done and get the meaningful legislation and bills passed. Honestly, when I go to folks' doors and talk to them, hear the issues that they're talking about, it really instills it within me that my job is to get up there in Hartford, speak truth to the issues that I believe in, and deliver, regardless of who I have on my side. And I think that's, the way that I've always operated, whether in my 3 years on council or before that. And we're understanding, the coalition that you build for certain issues, it's a blessing. So I really do look forward.
I really like how he's talking about coalition, because like a lot of people don't know what a coalition is. Like I saw somebody talk about a popular front with the Democrats. First of all, how the fuck is that going to work? How did the first popular front work out? Like that didn't work at all. So how are you going to establish a popular front against fascism with the party that is actively prosecuting a genocide against Palestinians? And by prosecute, I do not mean hold Israelis to account. I mean prosecute as in help Israelis carry out. The word has two meanings. So you learned something new today. So a coalition can only be developed between people that have common interests. We do not have any common interests with the Democrats. Democrats are not obsessed with stopping fascism. As a matter of fact, they're clinging to Biden until he dropped out yesterday, was literally because they want Trump to win so that they can use all of the horrible shit that Trump is going to do to fundraise. Like we do this fucking shitty kabuki dance. I don't know. Maybe it's something wrong with your internet. Stop distracting me. But we do this stupid fucking dance every 4 years and nothing ever changes. The Democrats are in power one day, and then the Republicans use them to fundraise. Then the Republicans are in power, and then it just goes on and on and on again. Mainstream news sources are trying to paint Kamala as more sympathetic to Palestine. Yes, they are. And she is not. She's actually worse, like objectively worse. She's an AIPAC fucking sweetheart. And like, no. They're basically like leaning on shit that she may have said in meetings with Biden and with administration officials. Like, yeah, okay. It's not a sign of a revolutionary to be like, hey, maybe we should have less people die. Okay. A fucking ham sandwich can say that. But of course, we should not expect Kamala Harris to be a revolutionary. We should not treat Kamala Harris as a potential revolutionary. We should not treat Kamala Harris as a potential friend. We should treat Kamala Harris as an enemy because that is what she is. If you stand Kamala Harris, you are an enemy of Black people. I'm going to tell you why in a minute.
Forward to having the opportunity of getting work done, whether I'm talking about working with people within my own Democratic caucus, or even, if I am talking about something and it happens to catch the ear of a Republican colleague. All in all, my
It's interesting.
Abdullah Osmanu.
I know what your name is, brother. But yeah, look forward to having him on the screen sometime. For some reason, a lot of Zoomers watch my old millennial ass. I'm not an old millennial, I'm a young millennial, but regardless, I just turned 30. So, also, the last episode of House of the Dragon. Apparently, dragons only like you if you are a Targaryen, or if you are Black, or if you're a Black Targaryen. Watch the episode and find out why. White people cannot ride dragons if they're not Valyrian. It is known. So, I really like Johnny's socialism because, like, he has like a rabbit hole interest in exposing and talking about these people. I've actually tried to get him to come on, but he doesn't want to talk about it right now. But their website is built with a crypto engine, NFT, Web3 engine. So you're literally using shit that's fucking up the climate. You're using shit that's fucking up the third world. You're using shit that, like, how the fuck are you going to criticize JD Vance? Like, they only dropped Trump over Vance. How the fuck are you going to criticize JD Vance? And then use an engine developed by Peter Thiel, who is one of JD Vance's main funders, to develop your shitty little website. To join, you have to generate a security key and authenticate with Telegram, which exposes your real physical mobile device. This would be a huge security issue for a political party, but for a Fed honeypot operation, it's a feature, not a bug. Now, me personally, I like to see hard evidence before I just start calling people feds because I think it's immature and I know what that stuff does. But on the other hand, these people are so unprincipled and they're so fucking weird. Like, where did all of these motherfuckers come from? Where did Jackson Hinkle come from? Like, in 2016, he was a Bernie bro. Now here he is. He's bought a bunch of fucking followers on Twitter. He's constantly whining and bitching about how I'm the most canceled man on Twitter. And then here he comes with this shit. Like, first of all, this exposes like white privilege. Why the fuck are Ghazi and Omali Yeshitela, both bad dudes, do not join their organizations? But why the fuck are they going through all this shit with the feds and Jackson Hinkle is free to just parade around and do whatever dumb shit he wants? Either he's part of a fucking federal operation, which very well may be the case, or the feds don't give a shit about him and they don't see them all that important. As someone who does slight adventurism and infiltrates fast telegrams, I can tell you they're most definitely fed honeypots. Yeah. Hopefully, actual good communists don't fall into this shit. Yeah. But I digress. Like, that's your business. You're a grown man. If you want to join and hang out with people like this, like, they denounce everybody else as terminally online communists, and then here they are, like, they're claiming that Xi Jinping endorsed them. Xi Jinping has never met these people. Xi Jinping does not know who these people are. They don't know. He doesn't know or care who these people are. Like, they have nothing to offer them. So yeah, it's just shit. Johnny very well may be right. This shit may be an op. But yeah, stay the fuck away from these people. Listen to people, join organizations that have people like Ajamu Baraka in them. So a lot of people, after Kamala has basically been coronated, and that's another thing. Like, aren't we supposed to be a democracy? How can the guy who had to drop out of the fucking race, like he had to pull an LBJ, how the fuck does he have the authority to coronate his fucking vice president. Like, isn't this a democracy? Isn't there supposed to be like a challenger or something? And then like quit using black people, women, men, queer people as your fucking mules to carry out this horseshit. Okay, the most advanced, and that's the thing. A lot of these DSA writers do not realize that we have to appeal, we have to organize, we have to reach out to the advanced. Why are you appealing to the backward? Why are you appealing to the people who actually think that Kamala Harris is a good person to run this country? Why? So that's what happens. You have this country, its politics are driven half by celebrity bullshit and half by fucking vibes. Half by fucking vibes and reactionary identity politics. And no, identity politics, that's why I differentiate it. Identity politics are not 100% bad. They were developed by black women who had very, very real critiques of horrible shit that was going on in the organized left. They had very, very, like many of these women were veterans of the Black Panther Party. Many of these women were veterans of new communist movement organizations. Some were even in the RCP, which is in the Maoist tradition. Of course, it's not Maoist anymore. Anyways, and let's not height shame. There are plenty of other things terrible about Haas. I am 5 feet 5 inches. Well, you could just say you're a fucking bottom. Like, I don't. You use extra words. Just say you're a fucking bottom. So DSA is finally committing to trying to pass MSR 12. I also made a post about this, which would create actual red lines for Zionists in DSA. So is DSA being overrun by Zionists? No. But are there still Zionists in DSA? Yeah. And of course, they're not going to be like, yeah, long live Israel, because they know that there would be real political consequences for doing shit like that. But there are people who have Zionist type positions that are in DSA that need to be like dealt with. And I think the main problem would be DSA's habit, unfortunately, of endorsing people like Nithya Rahman in LA, AOC, Jamal Bowman. Like that's why many of the largest anti-Zionist Palestinian liberation movements in the United States will not work with DSA because of this habit. Before I joined, mind you, I only joined last August. But shit that happened in 2020, 2021, this constant tailing behind Jamal Bowman. Like Jamal Bowman should have been thrown out in 2020. AOC should have been thrown out as soon as she took that horrible Iron Dome vote. Like, lack of political principles has real consequences. And personally, I'm tired of facing consequences. I'm tired of the organization that I'm a member of nationally not being able to work in coalition with Palestinian youth movement and within our lifetime. Those are members of an actual united front against fascism. Those are members of the actual united front against fascism. The Democrats are not. Kamala Harris is not your ally. Kamala Harris is not anti-fascist mom or mother or anything like that. Kamala Harris is a fascist. Joe Biden is a fascist. AOC is a social fascist. You should not be like building your political fucking castle on this wet ass sand. It's not going to work. Why doesn't YDSA break off already? Look, if your first option or the first thing that you go to, of course you are Trotskyist cat girl, so I guess I shouldn't be all that surprised. But like, if your first instinct when there's a political line struggle in your organization, because a healthy organization has line struggles. DSA is a very healthy organization. And what I really like about it, and a major reason why I'm in DSA, is because like they don't just throw you out like PSL or Frizzo would. They actually allow various factions, various groupings. And it bears a lot of similarity to the early Russian Social Democratic Labor Party, which the Bolsheviks and Mensheviks both came out of. So yeah, if your first instinct is to split, like you need to develop some political maturity. That's why there's 500 fucking left organizations in the country today, none of which are about shit because they have too few members. But yes, I would definitely say that YDSA is the vanguard of the organization at this time. Their convention wrapped up yesterday. They actually passed an MSR 12. So big DSA is actually lagging behind the kiddie table. Like this shit. Like what? This is supposed to be the leader of socialism in the United States. Of course, I've never accepted her as leader because I think that I should be the leader of socialism in the United States, not AOC. But like, this is how you talk to people who are supposedly on your side. So this guy, Eric Baker, says that he cannot believe how badly Bernie and AOC fucked this up. I can. They've been fucking up since they've been in office, bro. But a lot of social democrats actually come to the realization that these people really ain't worth a damn. Okay, good. Because there's no greater teacher than practice. And Eric rightly never wants to hear about the political instincts of AOC and Bernie Sanders, again, because they have been wrong on every fucking thing. Not just wrong, but dead wrong, like harmfully wrong. And AOC's response is, maybe you should think harder. So she's got all this fucking mouth for people who are to the left of her, for people who probably voted for her if they lived in her district. She's got all this fucking mouth. Yet when the Democrats try to call her to heel, she's like a fucking puppy and rolls over for them. Is this some leadership? This is not leadership, okay? AOC is not a leader. AOC is a fucking shill. How the fuck are you going to talk down to your basically your constituents? Because AOC is terminally online. Many of her constituents, many of the people who stand her, all the way up until this stupid shit. And another thing, why the fuck was oh my god, I keep forgetting that it's people that watch me are not Americans. Isn't AOC Arabs of Change? No, AOC is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She is a congresswoman from New York City. I've never heard of Arabs of Change, but that sounds pretty cool. But yeah, why was AOC, why was Bernie riding fucking Biden? Why was that a deal breaker for these social democrats? Some of which are in my own organization, some of which are my comrades. Like, why was that a deal breaker for you? But them denouncing a Palestinian solidarity protest outside of that horrible Nova exhibit. Why was them taking all these shitty votes? Why was them denouncing arms struggle? No, I do not expect AOC to get up on the House floor and be like, long live Hamas, okay? I'm 30 years old. I'm not 19 anymore. But like, sometimes you can say nothing. So why was that not a deal breaker for you? Why was them not taking, like, why was them taking part in activities that objectively harmed Palestinian people? Why was that not a deal breaker for you? But because your little brunch was about to be disrupted, then it was suddenly a deal breaker. Suddenly you turned against it. That is social chauvinism. That's what that's called. You only give a fuck about yourself. American Marxism, aka Strasserism, with American characteristics. So if you don't know what Strasserism is, it's basically the left wing of the Nazis. You had some brothers, George and Gregor Strasser, I believe, and they ended up getting murked. And their followers were purged, but it was basically class struggle Nazism. So they ended up getting thrown out of the party. A lot of their followers ended up getting murked. But yeah, that's essentially what this is. Like, what a lot of these online cults do is they take a lot of mentally ill, mentally fucked up young white neets, not in employment, education, and training. Basically losers, basement dwellers. They take these people and they give them something to believe in. Like, say what you will about the CPU. Say, I think it's garbage. I think you should leave it. But at least it's a real fucking organization with the history. This shit just dropped out of a fucking coconut tree. And they base their success on how many followers they have. Okay, but what are any of those followers doing? A bunch of people that are spamming a fucking hashtag and signing on to your crypto scam. That's not an organization, okay? That's not an organization. So, yeah, it's vague. That's another sign. Like, you read their program, it's basically a bunch of bullshit that they face when they're in the CPUSA. Like, cannot just join an organization and expect to take it over. Like, of course they're going to kick you out. Of course they're going to throw you out. There are very real critiques of the CPUSA, but this is not the move. And then this is the kicker. They forged all of these branches, signatures up here. These are the people that founded it. I actually know Kyle Pettis. He used to live with me and us. Well, he used to being an org I was in St. Louis. And he ended up becoming a deadbeat dad and abandoning his wife to go join the Merchant Marines. Anyways, hey Kyle, if you're watching this, how are you? But anyways, they forged all of these branches' signatures to try to give themselves legitimacy. And there are actually people that are coming out saying that we didn't sign this shit. So what they probably did was they found the weakest link. They found the most terminally online, greasy-haired, smelly white kid that's actually apt to fall for this stupid shit. And they had them sign this declaration on behalf of their branch, supposedly, but it was really on behalf of themselves. Like, who the fuck wants to hang out with people like this? Like, do these people look trustworthy? Do these people look like, hey, yeah, I want to hang out with these dudes? They look like a fucking Elks Lodge in Topeka, Kansas, that runs a fucking pedo ring on the side that's going out to lunch at Golden Corral. That's what these people look like. And they found one black dude. They found one black dude that probably is just using them for fucking money, to be honest. Like, there's always one. There's always one brother that knows when a fucking mealtime is coming. I'm guessing these chapters are the ones that pretended to have taken over when they tried taking over the CPUSA and made all the fake Twitter accounts. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. But they also have a little video that appears to be entirely AI generated. Let's watch. Hopefully it'll be buffering all the time. Fucking coconut tree ass internet. Okay, so first of all, this looks like something from Man in the High Castle. Why is everything white? Like, anybody that's ever worked in a factory, anybody that's ever worked in any type of industrial warehouse, productive labor knows that ain't shit in a factory white unless you're in like research and development or something like that. And those are petty bourgeois jobs. Those are not proletarian jobs. The proletarian colors are brown and black and gray, not white. What the fuck? Is this iRobot? What is that? What's this thing? Okay, this is a combine harvester, and I guess this is like supposed to be like blueprintish or something, and it's supposed to be harvesting something. Okay, that's another thing. Why are you trying to appeal to large American farmers? These people are not proletarian. Maybe that's why they never mention the proletariat in any of their documents. They always talk about the working class to make it easier to flatten this shit. Wait, what is that? What does that say? Vojde. Okay. Do you have any idea, like, Gen Xers and boomers, like, you got shit in Russian? Like, those people don't. How the fuck are you going to be American communists and you've got the dials in Russians? In Russian, Americans can't read Russian. Like, you've already lost the people that grew up under Ronald Reagan as it is. Okay, so you've got some real footage. People are like, why are they using Jesus saves little Jesus loves the little children? Okay, that's a very common tune. It's actually supposed to be the battle hymn of the Republic. Where are they mining? Ooh, smelly, greasy factory. Yeah, let's just have a fucking oil tanker. Nothing about climate change. Where is this? Where is this supposed to be? This is the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen. They're mining crypto because it's a scam. Are they working at a tripe Are they mining tripe or something? Is there a planet full of tripe that I don't know about? Wait, that's not the Battle Hymn of the Republic. I got my tunes mixed up. So yeah, if that is what you want and you want to hang out with people that look like this, I mean, I can't tell you what to do. You're an adult, okay? You're big enough to make your own decisions. So if you want to hang out with people that look and dress like this, and if you want to be yelled at by people, none of which is over 6 foot, then go ahead, by all means, join the American Communist Party and fall into the little crypto scam. If you want to believe that they orchestrated Joe Biden dropping out of the race, then by all means, go ahead. What they consider rising up to be, I don't know. But you're an adult. You can make your own decisions. If you want to give all your money to Jackson Hinkle and Haas and fucking Kyle Pettis, go right on ahead. Like that's the thing. Like I don't try to talk people out of doing stupid shit more than once. I tell you something one time. I present evidence before you that these people may not have your best interests at heart, that these people may be grifters. And if you don't believe me, you don't have to. But when you join this organization and you get ripped off or it falls apart like Night of the fucking Long Knives, don't come looking at me because I told you. This dude, like if you were at the fucking student intifada, if you spent the night in a tent, he thinks that you were engaged in a gay little camp out. Never mind the fact that his Ayatollah buddies in Iran, never mind the fact that Hezbollah, which he admires so much because they're from his home country, never mind the fact that both of them spoke positively of the student intifada because he is an egotistical swine lord. He dared to call them gay little campouts. That's what he thinks of you. That's what Haas, one of the signatories on this plenary commission thing, that's what Haas thinks of you. So if you want to join an organization where you will be abused and where you will be, if you're gay or queer, you'll be forced to closet yourself. If that's what you want, by all means, join. Do I think that CPUSA will collapse in the near future? I don't know. I'm not privy to CPUSA's internal affairs. You know, Kamala Harris's dad is Jamaican, and she joked a few years ago about smoking weed in her younger years. And she's like, half my family's from Jamaica. Okay, first of all, Jamaicans are very conservative people. Okay, they're very conservative people, and they're very, very proud of their family. They're very, very proud of their country, as they should be. So Donald J. Harris, who is also an Marxist academic in the Althusserian tradition, if I recall correctly, he's written a lot of shit on development theory for Jamaica. But this is why Marxists should spend less time writing and more time raising their kids. Maybe we would be speaking of comrade Kamala Harris instead of class enemy Kamala Harris. So her dad, in peak Jamaican dad fashion, said that my dear departed grandmothers, whose extraordinary legacy I described in a recent essay on this website, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of a pot-smoking joy seeker, aka a fucking poppy show, and in the pursuit of identity politics. Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically, entirely dissociate ourselves from this travesty. I wonder if she'll be at her inauguration if she wins. Knowing Jamaicans, he probably will. So this is MSR 12. It's really important that this language in particular, this is not all of MSR 12, but part of this. Comrade submitted this to the NPC for discussion at the July meeting of the NPC, basically the executive committee of DSA. So be it resolved, DSA members, regardless of endorsement status, who are credibly shown to have consistently and publicly opposed BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions as a legitimate form of struggle, even after receiving fair and ample opportunity for education about the Palestinian struggle for liberation, be currently affiliated with the Israeli government or any Zionist lobby groups, or have knowingly provided material aid to Israel. Okay, so 3 is the kicker. A lot of people are talking about, so if I go and buy something for my synagogue, if I go and buy something that has been produced in Israel for religious purposes, no, nobody's going to kick you out for buying religious paraphernalia or things to help you celebrate Passover or the many, many other Jewish high holidays. Okay, nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to do that. Stop finding and dragging anti-Semitism out of the bed at every opportunity in bad faith to stop this organization from actually becoming less of a mummer's farce. MSR 12 has to pass because DSA, as the largest socialist organization in the United States, must stand in our place. We must stand in the trenches. We must be at the barricades if Trump gets reelected and shit pops off. And it's going to happen. And if we're not in our place, we're going to lose members, we're going to lose money, and we're going to be a joke. So yes, if a DSA member or a DSA elected engages in things that materially support Zionism, like voting to support the fucking Iron Dome, they should be expelled. Like, would we allow somebody who voted to commemorate Confederate Army officers? Would we allow somebody like that to be endorsed by DSA? Of course not, because our black membership would not allow it. I know I sure the fuck would not. These people enslaved my ancestors, and you're going to endorse a guy who enslaved my ancestors, who raped my ancestors? No. Palestinians deserve that same treatment. If we are going to build a multinational fighting working class organization, then these things are very important. If you don't want our endorsement, if you don't take us seriously, then why the fuck should we take you seriously? I personally hope you fucking lose. But yeah, just my 2 cents. Here's another fucking organization that the asshole Communist Party forged it. Like, they forged everybody's signature on that thing. Like, these people are entirely online. Entirely online. Your little woke book club. Anytime you hear somebody that calls themselves a communist talking about woke in Trump fashion, yeah, stay away from those people. Why do we think that Trump is racist? Well, for one, you can just look at him. His dad was literally in the Ku Klux. No, his granddad was literally in the Ku Klux Klan. If your ancestors sucked so bad that Woody Guthrie wrote a song denouncing your ancestor by name, your family sucks. So what has Trump done? He violated the Fair Housing Act by denying black people housing. He said casinos shouldn't be allowed to be ran on reservations because the people there did not look like Indians. When Trump would visit one of his casinos in the 80s, he would have all the black and Hispanic workers removed. He fired a black guy off The Apprentice for being overly educated. He called for the Central Park Five to be lynched and to this day has not apologized, even after they were exonerated and released from prison. He called for the 4 minority women in Congress to go back to where they came from. He wanted a Mexican-American judge removed from his Trump University case because he was Mexican. He started the Obama burglarism claims. That's literally how he rose to political power. He basically started this shit and he rode the wave all the way to the White House. And just recently, there were more claims surfacing about Kamala Harris. He claimed Obama was not smart enough to get into Harvard or Columbia. He said African countries are shithole countries and that we should close the border to immigration to all countries except places like Iceland, which is 100% inbred, if I recall correctly, because they were settled by like 9 Vikings. He had a Muslim ban. He's repeatedly retweeted and even endorsed known neo-Nazis and white supremacists. ACP, this is who your guy has endorsed. This is who Jackson Hinkle likes. So by all means, join. Identity politics has fried your brains. And they're already starting the fucking racism. Apparently me, a gay black man who isn't even attracted to white men in the first place, is interested in inquiring about the women in the American Communist Party because I asked, why was that picture all dudes? Like, how the fuck are you going to shut out half the fucking working class? And apparently all I care about is fat ass white girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. There's a stereotype that like black men are really obsessed with where white women at, but I assure you, I am gay and I am attracted to a specific type of white dude, possibly, preferably of Mediterranean descent, not fucking Nordics. Anyways, but yes, All black men, including gay ones like me, are obsessed with white women. Y'all just can't not be racist for 5 minutes. No, Blake, not you. You're a German. Drake, Blake, same fucking thing, same fucking cracker names.
Good
I laughed my ass off at this.
thing, you stupid son of a bitch. We had Fring. We had a lab. We had everything we needed. It all ran like clockwork.
Stop buffering, you stupid fucking thing.
You could have shut your mouth, cooked, and made as much money as you ever needed. It was perfect. But no, you just had to blow it up. You and your pride and your ego. You just had to be the man. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. Why don't you?
And then, of course, if you're familiar with Breaking Bad, you know what happens next. Yeah, very funny. It's good to have a last every now and then. Also, the last fucking House of the Dragon episode had a Reigns of Castamere callback when they introduced the Lannisters. I know that's like the Lannister theme, but it's still funny, like hearing this song 200 years before the events that inspired that song to be made. So, yeah. Narrator, it did not run like clockwork. Nothing ever runs like clockwork. Still think we have 2 parties in this country? No. You literally have fucking rivals, people who are running against each other that have been funded by each other. Which way? That's me. I believe that was 2016. I think fucking, oh God, who was the Attorney General in 2016? Tom Cotton? No. Whoever that asshole was, he came to St. Louis. Now I feel bad for not knowing this. Trump Attorney General. Jeff Sessions, William Barr, one of those assholes. Anyways, it doesn't matter. They came. So they would not let us burn an American flag at the Eagleton building downtown. So somebody slashed one to ribbons and handed me one. And I took that dope. Well, somebody took that dope picture. All cops are bastards does include Kamala. We need a cop to beat a criminal. We exist in that context. I swear to God. I swear to God. Like what is it going to take for you people? What is it going to take for you people? A reminder that the white working class will harvest the Hyperborean tripe mines. My God. Sometimes I wish I had just stayed like a fucking regular Democrat and like not delved into this rabbit hole. So these are 3 more clubs. I hate how CPUSA calls their branches clubs. Just call them branches. But it's like every fucking supposed signatory on this declaration of theirs has come out denouncing them, saying that we don't know who you people are. We do not know who you people are. But a bunch of fat weirdos with stained clothing and no drip. I don't know who the fuck dude was talking about, because he's certainly not talking about me. I miss those tortoiseshell glasses. I should get some more. But yeah. Now compare this. Like when you dress, you have to have like a little bit of quirk to it, okay? You don't want to look like you came off an assembly line. So my thing is knit ties and nice hats because I'm bald. With a pin or 2, okay? Like that's my fucking style. That's my steez. That's my swag. Now compare what you just saw to this. These people look like they're going to a fucking first communion. There's no panache. There's no nothing. They're all dressed like this is how Republicans dress. This is how Madison Cawthorn and J.D. Vance and Donald Trump dress. That just shows like the absolute, like, what is this? Is this fucking Magnum PI bullshit or something? Like, they call us LARPers. Jesus Christ. This was me a few years ago. That's Kyle Pettis. So he was actually in an organization that I was in. He tried to purge half of the organization. He stole organizational funds and he abandoned his wife and kids to join the Merchant Marine. So if those are the people that you want to hang out with, then by all means, go hang out with them. Go hang out with them. Like, these people have no politics. So you say that Biden serves the Zionists and warmongers. Trump serves Zionists and warmongers. Then after Trump got his ear nicked, you posted this. You shared this. You posted it a year ago, and you shared this. Why? Why? Like, what is your point? Like, you really think this old ass man is going to run out with a fucking rifle? And why are you not? Why is everybody else carrying their fucking weapon combat ready? And you just got it just in your, you'll be the first one to get shot. You'll be the first one to get shot because that fucking white suit is like a fucking white flag. Well, actually, it's light gray. But that fucking suit is like, might as well be a fucking bullseye. So they're going to get you first, and you're not carrying your weapon in a combat-ready position. But now you're saying that he serves Zionists and warmongers. These are white progressives right now. Except Kamala didn't lock my daddy up in jail. I didn't live in California. My mom actually went to prison for 2 years and 10 months. But yeah, that's where white progressives are right now. It's just they view black people's lives as expendable. They view black people's lives as expendable. They don't give a shit about us. They give a shit about our votes to help keep their fucking brunch squad in power. The state of California was ordered to reduce prison overcrowding, and Kamala Harris argued against it, largely because the state would lose a low-wage workforce. She's literally fought to maintain prison slavery. She has a worse record than Obama on this. Her career was spent defending and strengthening the prison industrial complex, which is nothing short of modern-day slavery. She made her career by locking up black people in the Bay Area. Her track record consists of terrorizing black communities through the prison industrial complex. She then became the Attorney General, the top cop of California. Her track record consists of rampant anti-blackness. She also fought legislation that would require her to investigate the brutal executions of black folks by the police. She announced her run for presidency on Martin Luther King Day. And it's truly disrespectful to Martin Luther King's legacy and is a spit in the face to the black radical tradition. It's propaganda. It's meant to fool us. Okay? That's what this is. Do not feel compelled to vote for Kamala Harris. Do not feel compelled to vote for anybody. That is not how we are going to see relief. Okay? When you go and vote and take part in this system, you are prolonging it. That's what George Jackson said. This is how you liberate yourself.
ضلك جاري ضلك جاري.
This is the first moments of October 7th, of the October 7th prison break. This is how you liberate yourself. I remember watching all of these videos and feeling nothing but ecstasy. I felt the same way when the 3rd precinct burned in Minneapolis.
يلا 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 امشي امشي. ابراهيم يلا شيل ساعدوه.
These guys are in their 20s, late teens, okay? Like, these are not hard. I mean, they are hardened fighters because everybody in Gaza, everybody in the West Bank, everybody has to. It's a matter of survival. It was Rifat Alarir that said that literally, if the Israelis break my fucking door down, I'm going to throw this fucking Expo marker at them. Okay, there's no time to play over there. These people live under fucking who does Ibrahim Traore endorse? I don't know. Maybe I'll have him on stream one day.
دقيقة دقيقة. يلا روح. هاي جبنا هاي جبنا وهاي شبابنا. هاي جبنا وهاي شبابنا. اهدى. اهدى روح عدل 3 كيلو. يلا يلا يلا. هاي الشارع يلا يسعد دينك يا راجل يلا وحش والله انك وحش روح
فإذا دخلتم فإنكم تغالبون. الله أكبر.
These people have not seen this land for decades. Can you imagine being born and raised and spending your entire life in a fucking concentration camp and then going armed onto the land that your grandparents and your great grandparents were forced off of? Can you imagine the sheer ecstasy of that moment? Like these people have only heard about this land from their elders. They spent their entire life crammed into a fucking concentration camp, living one on top of each other in buildings built with cement blocks because that's all they can get. The Israelis won't allow fucking construction equipment and materials to access them. Like, how the fuck do you pin millions of people into a little tiny strip of land and then not allow anything to come in? That is evil. That is extermination. That is genocide. That is a Nazi method. Gaza is basically the Warsaw Ghetto writ large.
لسه بدهم حياة أول ما يستوعبوا. لسه بدهم حياة أول ما يستوعبوا. هذا فتح مبين. كيف تكفرون؟ هذا فتح مبين. كيف تكفرون؟
Also, a lot of these dudes are orphans. Okay, their parents were killed by the Israeli fascists. They had no parents. They were literally raised by the revolutionary movement. They were literally raised by Hamas. They were raised by PIG. They were raised by the PFLP. They were raised by these movements. So they have given their lives over entirely to the revolution because Israel forced them to by murdering their parents and their entire families. How many revolutionaries do you think have been produced since October 7th? Millions. Millions more. Next time they come, they're going to come in millions. Have I seen the TV series The Rebellion? I have, actually. It's funny. Like, I remember during the Easter Rising scenes, this dude, he was like stealing whiskey or beer or something. And this lady that's representing the revolutionary forces, she's like, in the name of the revolution, put that down. And the dude, who was obviously already drunk, was like, in the name of me arse, get lost. I don't know why that scene stuck with me.
استنى بس يفتح هذا الثغره ما فتح بدا فتح استنى يا عم وين السفار ساعدوهم سفار ما بنزع شو الشطاير يا رب يا رب الله اكبر ايوه روح
Again, this is how you liberate yourself. Note that they are literally going to carry out their military mission. They are not going to vote. Also, fuck anybody that denounces religion. I'm an atheist, but these people are driven by belief in Allah. These people are not driven by, they're not, yes, some of them are Marxists, but Marxism is not the fundamental guiding principle of this struggle. And we have to recognize and respect that.
الله يا شباب شاهدوا شاهدوا اعلام اطلع اعلام روح عمي يلا اشهد ان لا اله الا الله اشهد ان محمد رسول الله هو اشهد ان لا اله الا الله اشهد ان محمد رسول الله الله اكبر روح ما اطلع
Definitely better at driving a motorcycle than I am. I'd have been and fell off.
الله اكبر الله اكبر.
Chris.
Hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like people are talking about these guys were rapists. And no, these were revolutionary fighters. They weren't worried about anything but their mission and doing what they were supposed to do. That's what their mission was. There was not a single incident of sexual assault or rape that was carried out during this operation. The Israelis can't even prove it. They were full of shit. They were weaponizing whiteness. The fact that most Israeli women are white, they were using that and basically portraying and acting as if a bunch of violent brown men stormed into their holy land and committed atrocious acts. Like that's the type of shit that got black men lynched. Okay. So I didn't believe this shit from the beginning. I did not. But it took white social democrats to white social democrats to keep pushing this shit and pushing this shit and pushing this shit. And then they didn't even apologize. Everybody that promoted the Hamas rape myth owes the entire population of Palestine an apology and reparations. As soon as they see an op, like they're fucking swarming. This is how black people in the United States need to move. Okay. This is how black people in the United States need to move. Like later for all this shit, like black women are carrying this election on. Okay, stop doing it. Drop it. Okay. Nobody's asking you to. I'm a gay black man. Okay. I'm a threat from Trump. Yes. But am I afraid? No. Why? Because I'm rooted in the black revolutionary tradition. I know that it takes blood to liberate my people. I know that it's going to take oceans, mountains, rivers of blood to liberate my people. My people are not going to be liberated through a fucking election, okay? I've been saying this for years. My people are not going to be liberated through a fucking election. Not at the national level. No president can grant you what you already have. Abraham Lincoln did not free my people. My people freed ourselves. So until the white working class, until the white social democrat, petty bourgeois, email job people, until they realize that we're going to still catch hell in this country, strengthen your spine, straighten your back, prepare for revolution. Otherwise, you ain't going to make it. We will, though. We'll put flowers on your grave.